Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
You guys obviously have the most time off you've had since December. What's the biggest thing that you think that you need to work on this week?
Well, that's a good question, because we got back Sunday night, and I spent Sunday night kind of jotting notes down. And it's been a weird year, and I look at the year and people would have trouble seeing this, but I'm not disappointed where we are under the circumstances that we've been in. I'm really disappointed how we played the last game. I don't think we as coaches did a good enough job. I don't think players did a good enough job in competing, especially offensively, doing the things we needed to do.
After the game in West Lafayette, you said when a player scores 70 points against you between two games, don't really want to say so much it's the player's fault, but the coach's fault. How could you have guarded him or game planned against him any differently?
Well, my good old days, when we were allowed to do a little more, I'd have tackled him. I really would have. I thought we'd come with 3 or 4 different coverages. I think some of that confused some guys more than not. So I just, we said this week we're going to get back to what we do. I do think Tom Izzo deserves to take some blame when a guy scores 70 points in 2 games, and I will. And I won't sleep over it, and I'll beat myself up over it. But then I'll pass on a little bit to the rest.
Yeah, and you've played in, obviously this year, so many different arenas, atmospheres, big time environments. That's not gonna be any different when you go to Madison Square Garden to face Rutgers. Why do you think people refer to it as the Mecca of basketball?
It's crazy, because the first time I went there back in 2000, and we rode up in an elevator that was filled with garbage. Swear to God.
Oh my God.
It was amazing. Everywhere, And you get in there and, it was nice, but it wasn't, to me it wasn't. But I guess if you're from the East Coast, you think of that. But then they redid it. And you can still ride up on that same elevator, by the way. But it really is, you walk through the hallways in between from Muhammad Ali's to the great basketball players to the incredible musicians. It just reeks of stars, and everywhere you turn, there's something to remind you of that. But you're right, you don't talk to many people that's favorite place to play, whether it be college or pro, that say their favorite place is Madison Square Garden, the Mecca.
Did you and Steve decide to do this because of your mantra, any place, anywhere, anytime? Well, how did it come to be with Steve?
No, yeah, I played at the Palestra because of that. Everybody told me you got to go there and play it. I think what they're looking for is each year, 2 years, they're trying to get somebody to play there, just like we play Oakland down there, but a Big Ten team, and they know I'll do anything. And I think we're a draw. I do think we're a draw. We haven't lost our cachet yet. And so I think the combination of the two.
What did you like about the Rutgers game when you were here that you think could translate over to this game? Just because that was a big win for you guys at the time.
It was. And they're still a very good team. I thought we pushed the ball very well. We got a running game going. We have not done a good job. You asked me earlier, what do we have to improve on? The strength of Michigan State for 20 years has been defend, rebound, and run. We're not rebounding quite as good. We're second or third in the league, but not like we used to. And we're not running like we used to. And some of that was maybe the injuries. Some of that was all those games, fatigue. Some of that was a good excuse. So the excuses are out the door.
Rutgers' physicality and toughness actually reminds Izzo of his teams from the early 2000s, or as he refers to them, the Flintstones. One made such an impact on his life. He decided to name his son after him, and after the break, he reflects on the day he and Loopy laid their eyes on Steven for the first time.
Experiencing a Spartans game is a lot like life. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud supporter of Michigan State athletics. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
With MSU FCU's checking accounts, you can manage your finances the way you want. Hate paying monthly fees? Totally Green Checking is right for you. Enjoy perks like no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and more. Want a more traditional option? Classic Checking offers many great features, plus paper statements. Looking to maximize your earnings? A money market checking account pays you dividends on your balance at rates higher than the national average. MSU FCU has the checking account that's right for you.